Hey guys, Tophat here. I want to give my thoughts on the latest news from Ghostbusters. According to the website FTN, it appears they're working on a new Ghostbusters TV show where they fuse all the Ghostbusters universe together. Like the original movies, the cartoons, as well as the god awful 2016 reboot. I don't know yet if this is going to be live action or animated, but according to this site, that Ivan Reitman, the director of the original movies, was really impressed with IDW and how they handled the multiverses of Ghostbusters. You guys heard me talk about the IDW comics before, and they're really good. Everyone I've personally read is worth reading. They they had the characters interact with the cartoon, the real Ghostbusters, and the Ghostbusters Get Real. I highly recommend it. And they also had them interact with the Ninja Turtles and more recently with the Transformers. My thoughts on this is I'll believe it when I see it. Because they're always teasing this idea that they're going to make a Ghostbusters TV show. And I do believe the creators like Dan Aykroyd and Ivan Reitman are sincere. I've, I do believe they want to make a Ghostbusters TV show. But it's always hard to get these projects off the ground. There's a lot to consider, like writing and the budget and who are they going to get to play the characters. Yeah, back when Stranger Things Season 2 had the boys wear those Ghostbusters costumes, Dan Aykroyd said he would like to do a Netflix series exploring Peter Ray and Egon as teenagers. I remember everybody was like, no, don't do that, don't do that, or yeah, do it, do it. And myself, I was like, I believe it when I see it. And some even accused him of milking the franchise for all it's worth, and it was like, it was just talk at that point. There was nothing concrete. It sounded like it was something he would like to do. Honestly, I don't think a whole series having Peter Ray and Egon as teenagers would be good. Because in the very first movie, they didn't become Ghostbusters until they were adults, and they were already established at the university. And plus, this is the elephant in the room. They would not have known Winston as teens. And Winston is a big part of Ghostbusters. I think the idea of a TV show has a lot of potential because the IDW comics have done a great job at fusing everything Ghostbusters into their universe. Yeah, the comics did a great job at introducing new characters. My personal favorites would be like Ron Alexander. That guy's a real jerk, but he's a lovable jerk. And then there was like Melanie, who was like that FBI agent who's friends with Peter. She's a great character. And then you have Jenny Moran, who more or less is Donna Dixon, Dan Aykroyd's wife. And I find it really cute how she's Ray's love interest in the comics. And it's also pretty neat how in the comics they have it that Ray still has his occult bookstore, and he has Kylie from the Extreme Ghostbusters cartoon as his assistant. She was the only character from that cartoon I liked, and I love how they incorporated her into their world. J. Michael Straczynski earlier this year stated that he would like to revive the real Ghostbusters cartoon. And honestly, I'm on board with that. I would love to see that cartoon revived. As for who they could get to voice the characters, well, ideally, if they're going to go the real Ghostbusters route, I would want to see Maurice LaMarche come back as Egon, Arsenio Hall come back as Winston, Frank Welker to come back as Ray, and Dave Coulier come back as Peter. Yeah, I know Dave Coulier was never the popular voice for Peter, but let's be real here. The one everybody would love to see come back, Valenza Music, passed away in the early 2000s, so that's obviously not going to happen. But I honestly don't care if they got completely different people to voice them, because I feel like Ghostbusters is strong enough where they don't need the actors from the original cartoon or even from the original movies to voice the characters. I prefer this TV show to be animated, preferably in the style of the comic books. I wouldn't mind if it was the real Ghostbusters look, but the IDW comics would be ideal. And I don't really have an idea who I would like to see voice them. Just somebody, just actors who could imitate Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, and Ernie Hudson. Or they could do like they did in the real Ghostbusters, where the characters don't really sound like the actors from the movie. As for the prospect of them incorporating the 2016 Ghostbusters characters, my response to that, and this probably won't come as a surprise to people who follow me, is hell no. Keep those ladies as far away from this as possible. Look, if you love the movie, that's fine. I don't care. But the thing of it is, most people didn't like this movie. It was not a hit by any means. If they want to do like a one-off episode where they interact with the real Ghostbusters or whoever, fine. I won't watch it myself, but, knock yourself out. I just wish that they would forget that movie existed. Anyway, as for, the idea of young Peter Ray and Egon, that would make a good episode on the TV show. Dan Aykroyd seemed like he wanted to do, a whole TV show or miniseries revolving around them as teens, but I think ideally it should just be an episode or a multi-part episode of the show. Because I actually do like the idea of seeing them younger and meeting. And as for the Turtles meeting the Ghostbusters, I would actually like to see that made into a direct-to-DVD movie. Kind of like how they did a direct-to-DVD movie of Batman with the Ninja Turtles. Licensing could be a problem since Nickelodeon owns the Turtles and Sony owns Ghostbusters, but hopefully they could work something out. And I would even like to see them do a direct-to-DVD movie of the Ghostbusters meeting Transformers, or if they don't want to go that route, do the one where the movie-verse meets the cartoon-verse. I haven't really spoken about, the new movie Ghostbusters Afterlife, but seeing the trailer for it, it looks really, really good. I'm just disappointed that it's not coming out this year like originally planned, and the reasons for that are pretty obvious. I mean, if you don't know, you have not been paying attention to what's going on in the world. But I like the idea that the movie is going to be about Egon's grandkids, one of them played by Mike from Stranger Things. You know, I ideally would have loved to have seen all four of the boys play those characters, but if they only had to pick one, I was glad they picked Finn Wolfhard. And if they're going to do like the shared universe, I know this is going to sound like a ridiculous idea, but I would love to see them interact with the original Ghostbusters from that ridiculous show from the 70s. You know, see them interact with Kong, Spencer, and Tracy. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.